a comparative study on the academic performance of non-varsity and varsity players of grade 12 senior high school in Cebu Institute of Technology, University. Chapter 1. Rationale.
Aside from all the arts and history, sports is one of the major things in every school. Sports have played a major role in schools, such as getting the students fit or representing the name of the school when competing with other schools, which made sports as a necessity to every school. In this research, the researchers decided to conduct a study that will focus in comparing the academic performances of varsity and non-varsity students in Cebu Institute of Technology University.
Chapter 1. Statement of the problem and research questions.
This research is a comparative study on the academic performance of the non-varsity and varsity players of grade 12 senior high school in CITU and aims to answer the following questions. What are the factors that affect the academic performance of non-varsity and varsity players? What is the difference between non-varsity and varsity players in the context of academic skills? What hindrance could differ the academic performance of a non-varsity student to a varsity student? How does a varsity player affect their academic performance compared to a regular student? What are the positive and negative effects of being a varsity player on the academic performance?
Chapter 1. Significance of the study.
The results and findings of this research will lose the gap between varsity and non-varsity players in the context of academic performance and their academic achievements, considering how their sports participation is as important as their academic performance. This research is beneficial to varsity and non-varsity players, teachers, parents, and the researchers.
Chapter 2. Review of related literature.
It has been argued that the academic performance will differ depending on the student's duties or roles in school. Several studies have been made to prove that being an athlete or a regular student may affect the student's academic performance. One research suggests that high school sports participation increases motivation and self-discipline, which in turn makes athletes perform better in school than those who are not athletes. On the other hand, one research claims that non-athletes perform better than athletes, but the academic performance of athletes were not below what was expected based on their entering profile.
Chapter 2. Theoretical background.
In every studies that have been made to provide results regarding the academic performances of the students, there are some theories that are used to back up or aid the researchers in their studies. Sports psychology claims that sports, which involves emotion, competition, cooperation, achievement, and play, can be used to investigate whether there are specific traits that distinguish the athletes from non-athletes. The theory of vitality suggests that if a player is extrinsically motivated and praise isn't forthcoming, the player's vitality sinks and he loses motivation. The theory of amotivation occurs when players lack motivation. Astin's theory of involvement suggests that students learn by becoming involved, and that there is a direct correlation between students' involvement and student development. The attribution theory is connected to athletic participation because student athletes are able to feel good if they experience success from athletic competition.
Chapter 3. Research design and research environment.
This is a comparative non-experimental research. The data that will be gathered from the Registrar Office of the GPA of those non-varsity and varsity players. From the varsity coaches is the number of varsity players in senior high school and their performance and excellence in sports. This will be obtained through the authorization letter to be gathered by the principal. The sampling technique used will be purposive non-probability sampling. The same number of non-varsity players will also be selected from the same section. The data The data collection technique used will be survey questioning. The same number of non-varsity and non-varsity player will also be selected from the same section. This research will be conducted in Senior High School Department of CIT University. Out of all varsity and non-varsity player from all the section in grade 12, only 12 non-varsity and 12 varsity players will be the respondents.
Chapter 3: Research Instrument and Research Procedure.
The instrument used are the following: the list of senior high school grade 12 varsity players to have a selection of varsity players, the GPA of the varsity students to be used for comparison, the list of the senior high school grade 12 students to have a selection of grade 12 students, the GPA of non-varsity players to be used for comparison. To start this research, these procedures must be followed by the researchers. Researchers must request a permit before gathering data. After the permit is approved by the department, the researchers can start gathering the data regarding which section contains the varsity players. Researchers will choose 12 varsity subjects from the gathered data. The next step, the researchers ask for the GPAs of the varsity students from the coaches and registrar. Then the researchers can compare and analyze the GPAs of the varsity and non-varsity and interpret the results. Lastly, the researchers identify which performing well in academics.